Without a doubt, the book of Ezekiel is one of the most overlooked texts in the Bible. The era in which Ezekiel lived was fraught with challenges. Zedekiah, who was the final proxy king of Judah, had been given limited authority to rule in Jerusalem with a relatively small military force. The city found itself under siege once again, this time at the hands of Nebuchadnezzar's army. Zedekiah was captured, and each of his sons was executed in his presence, forcing him to witness the demise of his royal bloodline. Following this, his captors blinded him, with the brutal execution of his sons being the final sight he ever witnessed. Nebuchadnezzar then decreed the complete annihilation of Jerusalem. Ezekiel was called upon to prophesy during these tumultuous times, despite being situated thousands of miles away from Jerusalem, in Babylon to be precise. What did this prophet's vision signify? It depicted a stirring in a courtyard full of bones. God aimed to provide his chosen people with a glimmer of hope they were desperately seeking. Their transgressions had led the Lord to permit Nebuchadnezzar to invade and subdue their land. Israel found itself in captivity, far away in the exotic land of Babylon. The people were disheartened, resembling unburied skeletons. They languished in a state of existential despair, unable to foresee the conclusion of their plight. He felt as though all hope had vanished, as if he was forever isolated from the world. The surviving Israelites were under the impression that their chances of re-establishing their nation had been extinguished, as if their nation had perished in the fierce flames of the Babylonian onslaught, with no hope of revival. As per the prophecy declared in Ezekiel 37:24, God assured them that Israel would regain its foothold on its land, guided by David, my servant, who will be their king, a clear allusion to the future reign of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, a descendant of David, referred to Isaiah 7:14, 9, 6, 7, Luke 1:31-33. However, considering the current predicament of Israel, this promise seemed far from achievable. As a nation, it was as if Israel was dead, stripped of its land, its monarch, and its temple. It had been fragmented and scattered for so long that the idea of reunification and restoration seemed far-fetched. Hence, God offered Ezekiel the vision of dry bones as a symbol, while the vision of the valley of dry bones primarily pertains to the children of Israel. It also bears practical implications for our personal lives, as narrated in Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 1 and 2. 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and he transported me in the spirit, placing me amidst a valley teeming with bones. 2. He led me around them. They were incredibly numerous in the expanse of the valley, and they were entirely dry. The Lord revealed himself to Ezekiel in the guise of a valley overflowing with dry bones. Although Ezekiel was physically in Babylon, God imbued him with a profound sense of being in a valley littered with bones. Their dryness indicated that they had lain there for a considerable length of time. These bones also hinted at the valley's past, perhaps once bustling with life, but now desolate. The Lord likely intended for Ezekiel's spirit to be deeply moved by the seemingly despairing situation. Verse 3. He asked me, Son of man, can these bones be brought back to life? I replied, Sovereign Lord, only you possess that knowledge. From Ezekiel's perspective, the scenario appeared beyond the realms of possibility. The prophecy of the revival of Israel is captured in verse 14. I will place my spirit within you, and you will come to life once more. I will ensure you settle back in your homeland. You will then realize that I, the Lord, have spoken and have brought this to fruition, declares the Lord. The vision was concluded by God when Ezekiel was unable to respond, and then God unveiled its significance. How would he breathe life into the disjointed, lifeless bones of Israel? The answer lay in the interplay of the Word and the Spirit. Ezekiel was instructed to prophesy over these lifeless bones. He was commanded to pronounce, Dry bones, heed the word of the Lord. In compliance with this command, God initiated the process of reassembly in these bones, as tendons, flesh, and skin began to restore them to their original form. However, the transformative power of the Word had to be complemented with the infusion of the Spirit, so these bodies could receive breath, reviving them from lifelessness. This serves as a timeless example of spiritual renewal, of the rejuvenation of God's church in contemporary times through the combined action of the Word and the Spirit. When either of these components is missing, God's people are unable to genuinely experience God's presence among them.